Get you out of here. All right, we're here with head coach Lynn Hersey and Katelyn Pickunka after tonight's 68-65 overtime win over Mary Washington in the Sweet 16. Coach, just an opening statement on the win tonight.
Well, a lot of credit to Mary Washington. We got a big lead on them early, and they were just really were very resilient. Had a great second half, battled back, just made some really good plays, especially in the fourth quarter. They really outplayed us, and we're just lucky, feeling fortunate that we were able to have a good overtime period and put some, plays together and, be able to pull out the win.
Hannah or Kyle?
I guess what changed for you guys between the fourth period and overtime? Because like you said, the fourth period was not great, and then you really got it together in overtime.
Yeah, we switched the lineup a little bit, so we tried to go with a couple different players, try to create some mismatches with their players and see if we could gain an advantage in different ways. And we had a couple different players step up and helped us. Amelia came off the bench and had two really important sort of runners layups there. And then, obviously KP just was so consistent throughout the game in just making really big plays, getting rebounds. It takes a lot of different, it just takes a lot of different elements of the game to kind of come together in order to, kind of pull it out. Especially, I think we were a little shocked it went to overtime. So we had to quickly regroup mentally and kind of get back to just sort of the basics of playing a 5-minute game and try to, generate some momentum on our end. And I think we found a few ways to be able to do that.
Yeah, how did you refocus after that? Because you mentioned you had to refocus everybody, and I imagine that's you got to feel a little real. How did you get dialed back in there, Katelyn?
I think there's a lot of different ways to focus back in. I think we have an amazing bench that always keeps high energy for us. They're always staying positive, encouraging, keeping us on task on what we need to do. For the 5 out on the court, just play by play, taking everything that is controllable and controlling that, boxing out, running the floor hard, knowing your matchups. If you have a mismatch, call that, and then just play by play. Just create that momentum, and I think staying together too. Not pitting it against each other.
Your bench was really big for you tonight. Your bigs, especially with Cass and Jasmine coming in with Morgan out with 5 fouls. For either of you or both of you, what did the two of them in particular bring to the game today?
Well, we have a deep team, and we get in foul trouble or someone's not producing as much as they typically do. I mean, we have other players we can go to, and the goal there is for them to be prepared for their sort of opportunity and, to impact the game in a positive way. And I think Jazzy's defense was really big. She got some good boards for us. That was really important. And, Cass went in. She had 5 boards, 2 O boards. I mean, there was a critical point, and I remember specifically that Jazzy got some big O boards in one possession where we had maybe 3 or 4 chances to try to score. And I think we needed all those chances. So, the O boards were really helpful to us. But, ultimately I would say that we're, it's an NCAA tournament. I mean, ultimately the games are going to be competitive and you're going to have to find different ways to win. And I wouldn't say we played our best tonight, but, we made enough plays to pull it out. And, that's something to be proud of, and we'll regroup and get ready for the game tomorrow.
Okay, what is that like for you working with some of those different players? I mentioned you and Morgan have just such a chemistry, and where the other person is going to be. Do you sort of change what you're doing when the other players are in, or do you, how do you sort of operate with the bench players rotating in?
Yeah, I think depending on who's coming in, we'll kind of change that dynamic. I think Cass and Morgan have similar qualities of back to the basket. And when I'm in with Cass or Morgan, they're down low and I'm on the perimeter. So I think, in that way we Morgan and Cass play a similar game, so we complement each other in the same way. But if Jazz and I are in, then I think it's a little bit different of a dynamic. So I'm more in that back to basket role.
Were you thinking at all about last year, a similar situation in the Sweet 16? Were the ghosts of that coming back at all today during the late in the fourth quarter and then overtime?
Not during the game. I definitely thought about it after the fact when we were in the locker room, kind of just soaking in this moment and, reflecting on what this means to our program. But it is a little ironic how it was overtime for both of those games. But very glad that we were playing at home. I think our crowd and our just our environment gives us this huge advantage.
Was it the last play that Allie hit, was there somebody in particular that you all drew that up for, or was that just a matter of like, let's make a play and find somebody?
Well, we put the ball in Jessie's hands, and she's a great penetrator for us. Usually she's tough to beat, especially off the bounce. I wasn't sure if she would get the look, but I knew she'd create for somebody else. And we trust her with the ball in that scenario, so it's just trying to put the ball in different players' hands, and hopefully they make the right plays. And Allie's just been so clutch for us in her 3-point game, and she's very confident, and we go to her a lot. And the kid does not fear a shot, like a big moment. So, a lot of times when Allie's taking a three, it almost feels like someone else is, the same as someone else making a layup. She's just that efficient from the 3-point line, and it was a massive three, but geez, I think all of us thought when it went up, that's going in. And it's just a, compliment to her and all the work she puts in to be such a good shooter for us.
What's the emotions that's going through you when you see her shot go up and then see it go in?
Everyone I've talked to so far, I've been like, I remember boxing 23 and I were boxing each other out, and it was like slow motion in my mind with the like buzzer on the backboard going off and it kind of like bouncing around. And it's definitely a moment I will never forget.
How surreal was it? Because I think you see that on TV, you see that one shining moment, like that was like in front of you. What like, I don't know. I'm not sure that's a question, it's more of a statement, but.
Yeah, definitely. I agree with you. Lots of words. It's just, wow. Allie has been so clutch for us for so many years. And I think that I've had a lot of special moments, been a part of a lot of special things in this program over these past 5 years, but that hasn't even been the first time that that's happened. Amelia hit that one right before COVID hit to get us into the Sweet 16. So those moments like that, you just never forget how you're feeling and just the energy and the environment that you're in.
It was such a full circle moment for you. Wow.
First Elite Eight in the program, school history. But, what does the next 24 hours look like? Trinity's a familiar opponent. Job's not done. What's the next 24 hours like?
Yeah, it's back to work, and we were just saying we got to be better than them for 24 hours. And that's just how we fuel, how we recover, how we mentally prepare and get ourselves, sort of ready for the prep work that's going to take. And coaching staff's got to get to work, and, it's going to be a great game. We've seen them before. We're very familiar with them. And, they're going to be coming in here gunning for us. So, I think it's going to be what a Elite Eight game should be. It's a ticket to the Final Four. Who's not going to get up for that? So, we'll do our part, and, we're going to go compete tomorrow for sure.
Awesome. Thanks, Lynn. Thanks, KP.
Thank you both.